Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to share with you a project I'm making with some freebies that Miss Betty Renfro from Betty's Custom Designs. Let me make sure of her, not YouTube, her, well, it's YouTube also, her Instagram. I have it pulled up. Not Instagram, her Etsy. Gracious me. Betty's Custom Designs on Etsy, and she is one of our valued customers at ScrapbookingwithME.com, and she is one of our designers, and she does digitals, which is what is mostly on her Etsy shop. But she did this Americana digital that she's calling Independence for our shop and our members. And it is absolutely free. It is gorgeous. So I wanted to show you this. This is the 4th of July freebie, and anybody can get this. You don't have to be in the States to get the 4th of July freebie from ScrapbookingwithME.com. It will be on the blog, and as soon as it is up, because I'm showing it before we put it up for y'all to grab, I will leave a direct link to it in the description box below. But she has some fabulous papers, and I have printed all of mine on cardstock because of the project I'm going to make. And I'll show you that after I show you the full little digital kit. Isn't that so pretty? I love the vintage look of it. I love Americana stuff anyway. These are my jam right here. Little journaling cards and tickets. And then it's got like Homes, 1776, Freedom, Brave. They are cute. Look at that. Envelope. Love it. The little tag, accents, another little journaling card. And then that's another pack. Like you could print these out and do back-to-back prints. And use these as on regular copy paper and use these as pages. It's gorgeous. Love that notebook line paper. There's another paper. That ribbon. She uses that ribbon a couple of times in the kit. I love that. And then I printed this one too large. These are the same. But I just printed this one too large because this is coming off the side here. But, I mean, it's going to be a flap that goes back behind the envelope, so it'll work too. But I printed that page at, I think it was like 92% or something like that. So I made it a little bit smaller. And I can still use all of it anyway. And, oh, and look at that little oval. I think she made that one just for me because I love ovals. I love circles of any kind, but I love ovals too. That's another one of the pockets just blown up a little bit. And that other pocket just blown up a little bit. So that is her Independence kit that she has made for us. And I will be using a couple of things along with it. I found these old tickets, stubs, whatever they are. I found them on a Google search, and I'm using them for my own benefit. I printed them out, and we're still searching to see if it's a public domain thing or if they're copyrighted or whatever. But I just printed them out for me because I'm going to be using them along with this collection because they go really well with those colors that's in that kit. And then I printed off some book page digitals that I had bought from the My Porch Prints, and I printed them on, let me get that paper. I printed them on this cream colored paper. It's like copy paper, but it's cream colored. It's an aged cream color. It's not your typical cream or ivory. I love this. And we just had some at the shop. I found it. Just happened upon it. And I printed these double-sided. Now, some of them have print on both sides. Some of them have that aged coffee staining look on one side and then print on the other side. I'm going to use these as my pages for something I am making with Betty's Independence digital kit. And y'all are getting it free. So anyways, let's see what I'm going to make. Okay, so we're going to start out making our journal inserts, or our signatures. And what I have done, I've got a piece of ledger paper, I've got a piece of ink dyed paper, and then these are the book page digitals that I showed you before. And all I have done is cut them in half. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I've just cut it down the middle at 4 1/4. So you're going to put your papers, if they were standing up this way, you're going to put your papers in your paper cutter, trimmer, whatever, and you're going to cut it at 4 1/4. So that's what I've done with those. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the ledger paper and the ink dyed paper. So I am putting it in tall, and then make sure I'm getting that in the, there we go. And then I'm going to pull it over, make sure they're even, pull it over to the 4 1/4 mark and trim them. Okay, then don't put your trimmer away because you got to use it again. Put something up here. Okay, then you're going to cut your length at 8. So all of your little sheets need to be cut at a length of 8. So it's 11 long. So that means I need to cut off 3. Do you see how I, just to make sure, because I'm horrible at math. 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need to cut off 3 inches off of all of these. I make myself laugh. Nobody else laughs. Okay, there's that one. So you end up with a piece that is 8 inches long by 4 1/4 wide. Okay, so all of your little sheets need to be 4 1/4 wide by 8 long. I'm going to go ahead, trim these off, and then put all of these in and start trimming them. And I'll be right back. So you have all of your sheets cut at 4 1/4 by 8, and what you're going to do is divide them up in 2 groups, and I'm going to try to get them in the order in which I want them in the beginning. So I'm putting digital book page, ink dyed page, just alternating them to how I would want them in my book, or books. In this instant, we're making 2 mini books. All right, I want to put my ledger paper here, I think I want to put the holes at the top there. Yep. Okay, and then there, oh, let's go here, there, here, there. Okay, and then line those up. And if there's any pieces that look like they need a little bit of a trim, you can do that now. I'm really good about not caring as far as my signature pages go. If they're wonky or whatever, I don't care. I'm good. All right, so you're going to fold these over all together on top of themselves. Okay, so you have a little 4 1/4 tall by 4 inch little sandwich of pages. So do that on both. There. Okay, so I've got cute little, and look, the pages are lined up much better on that one than they are on that one. I don't care though. I'm good. I'm good. All right, now you want to make little covers for your books, because these covers are going to be seen once you open up this little doomaflachi I'm making, and that, if you so choose to, you will make. All right, so I'm going to use one of her papers, and that's another reason why I printed these off in cardstock form, because I needed that weight. Now, of course, if you don't have these freebies, you can make this however you would like and with whatever paper you would like. I'm going to use this one. So I need my covers to be 4 1/4 tall, and I'm going to make them just a touch longer than 4, so like 4 1/8 wide. So that means I need to cut it at 8 1/4. So I'm going to flip this out here, make sure I'm in frame, and I am. So 8 1/4, trim it at 4 1/4. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Then I'll have to ink edges and get that so it's not so stark white looking. Look at there, I did it wrong. Oh my gracious. I did this one right. It's the other one that is not. I can't get 2 covers out of 1 page. See how Dorcas I am with math? Okay, so I've got this one. I'm covering it and loving that. Very pretty. I love that. Okay, so I need to cut this other one to cover that one. So crazy, Melina, look at that. You don't get 4 1/4 out of an, I don't know. I don't know how I didn't get that. I know how I didn't, because these digitals are pared down just a touch. They're not true 8 1/2 by 11. That's why I didn't get my full 4 1/4. Oh well. All right, so 8 1/4. So 4 1/4 there. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold this one so I can have it even. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that one. I like that. Pretty. Okay, so I'm going to ink edges, And I'm using the Vintage Photo ink. And I'm just I use regular Vintage Photo. That's what I have had for years, and I just haven't moved over to my oxide yet. It's just sitting all pretty, waiting for me to do something to it. All right. Get all of these. I'm just doing outside edges right now. I will get to that stark white inside later. Okay, and then make sure you get your fold. And I need to fold that, crease that really good here. There. Okay. All right, now, instead of the wax thread 3-hole traditional that you usually do for a signature, I'm going to actually sew on my sewing machine. Oh, that's right. I got my sewing machine out. And I actually threaded it. I'm sweating, and it took me about 40 minutes to remember how to get the bobbin threaded and all of that stuff. It's been so long since I got my sewing machine out, and I had to dust it off. But I'm going to do a straight stitch and stitch my little journals, and I'll be right back. All right, so my first time sewing, and I would say 8 years. Oh, that's pathetic. I'd say I did pretty good. I mean, it's not straight as an arrow, but I mean, that one's way off at the top, but they still fold well, and they look nice, and they're gonna do with what I need to be done, so we're good. I have decided I'm going to round all of my corners, so I'm using my 1/4 inch corner chomper and going in there and chomping corners. And when I start using this, I'll go into the pages if I need to and corner them a little bit more and get those corners inked. Oh yeah, I like the look of that better. Okay, so corner chomp, corner chomp. And then let's counter pages so that if you are skipping through the video, maybe you'll catch this part. Okay, so in each little journal, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 pages, 8 sheets, 16 pages. So they're not thick at all, but it leaves you lots of room to decorate and do things. So that's the first steps of our little project we're making. Next step is we are going to make a little house for these little signatures. Okay, so side by side, if you give it a little bit of room, I'd say about, let's see, how much room would that be? That's about 5/8 of an inch, maybe, if that much. Yep. Okay, if you give it a little bit of room. So to house these side by side, we would need exactly 8.5. So I want to go a little bit wider to give us enough room. So we're going to go 8 3/4 wide. So I'm going to make myself a note here. 8 3/4 wide by, we already know it's 4 1/4. So I think I want to make the little house as tall. Let's see. Let's do 5 1/4. Okay. So y'all, I'm just making as I go. I had this in my head what I was going to do, but no, that's not right. 8. There we go. I had in my head what I wanted to do, but as far as measurements, I did not. So you're going right along with the learning curve with me here. And we're going to make this together. Create with me. In my crazy YouTube world I have over here on my channel. Okay, so we need some chipboard, and I'm talking about some thin stuff like Frosted Flakes cereal, box thin. So this is what I'm going to be using as my back base. Let's see, so I need to cut it 5 1/4 by 8 3/4. So I'm going to cut that at that measurement and be right back. All right, so there's our little base cut, and it's going to hold our 2 journals like that. And we are going to do belly bands on this to slide our journal in onto this. So that's going to be our little base. Now I'm going to make a top, like envelope flap for the top of that, and then this is going to have a fold up, and so it's going to close up like an envelope, and then you open it up and you've got your top here, you've got your house platform for your 2 little mini journals, and then on the bottom I want to make some kind of like little notepad kind of thing on the inside bottom flap. So let's get to work on that. We need, and this bends quite well, but we need a little hinge here and a hinge here. And let's see, then we need to know, I would say that we need another piece the same height. Let's just trial and error, go along and see. So what I'm going to do, it's going to be easier for me just to put this up against this and trace her out to get a matching piece, just because this thing is such a monstrosity trying to get it in my trimmer, and I don't have a guillotine trimmer. So, and then we need our little flap for the top, and we don't need it long at all, but it's going to get just a little bit of a hinge and fold over. I think that's going to work. So we're going to cut this piece at 8 1/4. Is that right? 8 3/4. 8 3/4 by 2 3/4. Is that going to get me an even hinge? Let's see here. That has a fold up there and there. Yes, that's going to work. Okay. So you need that times 2, and then your little flap for the top needs to be the 8 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay. So then I'm wanting rounded corners on that top flap. Okay. And of course we're going to cover these. so I could do that later. But now to figure out hinge, I think it needs to be fabric. Okay, so I'm going to use this, it feels just a little bit thicker than like a cloth diaper. So I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to get me 2-inch strips. So I'm going to do 8 3/4 by 2 inches. I've got my fabric strips cut and my fabric tack. I'm just putting them about 1/4 inch maybe away from each other, the two little platforms. And I'm going to do the inside first. I'll do a little line of fabric tack there. Whatever fabric tape you have will work fine. Fabric glue, whatever will work. And let's put that down. And I like when a little bit of the fabric pokes out of the other side. I'm going to flip it over easily and get these lined up same width away from each other. Get a good amount of glue back there. And another strip. So you cut 4 strips of fabric, whatever fabric you would like. This is just what I had right beside me. So it's what I cut. But it is a nice cream color, so it goes along with this kit really well. So I liked that part of it. All right, and now this one I'm going to do the same thing, same little inchy away or whatever, 1/4 inch. And then fabric tack. After I use it on this project, I will have to have another bottle because I'm almost out of this. Okay, and then line your stuff back up before you lay it down, and then of course you can line it up again when you flip it over. That's kind of crucial to get that where it needs to be before it dries. And then fabric tack. Whoa, come on, fabric tack. Don't fail me. I need one more strip. There we go. Okay. And you're going to let that dry. But you can see, even before it dries, you can see that you've got a nice little fold down. You want to go ahead and fold it over and make sure that all of your edges line up. So this edge lines up, this edge lines up. I am going to use a magnet closure on this. So I've got the little basic gray magnets, the smallest ones that we carry in the shop. And I'm going to have a magnet here, and then I'm going to have a little circular piece here that's going to house my magnet that'll go on there. I need to go ahead and make my circular piece out of the chipboard. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch circle punch and punch out a piece of that cereal box. And you don't have to glue it onto this yet, but you do want to, and you know, we're going to make this all pretty and shabby chic-y looking, Americana looking. But you do want to go ahead and adhere on one of the magnets, go ahead and get a positive and a negative. The negatives are being so negative they don't want to come out. Oh, cheesy. All right, so you want to put the magnets together so that you've got stickers showing on the outside. And then take your backing off. For anybody that hasn't used these razor thin magnets from Basic Gray, I'm just giving a little toot about that. All right, I want that. Okay, so I'm going to have it like this in the middle, and then it's going to come down like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and you keep your magnet together like this, and then when you go to place it, it is much easier. Okay, so the magnets are together, and I want to make sure that this is in the center. So right about there is going to be center, and you're going to place that other side of the magnet onto there. So now that's on, and it's ready. I finished up some of the really boring parts off camera. So I just covered the flap with some craft cardstock, and this is some really stiff cardstock that I got years and years ago from Michael's, and I wanted to use it up. I think it's that Recollections brand, and I just really didn't like it. I found some navy blue pattern paper that I thought would go really good with this, so I covered up that back panel, and then now I'm going to cover up this middle panel, and I'm going to cover it like that, and I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to tear these edges so that it's just, you know, gives it a little bit of character there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in place, and then tear those edges, and then glue that down on the back side, and that'll give us a little wrap on either side of that. So let's go ahead and get that Fabri-Tac. And when I covered these panels, I just made sure not to go over the hinge part so I wouldn't get any buckling when I start to fold it. But I think this is going to be a rather sturdy little book, the way I've got it, and the way I've got that muslin material. I don't even know if that's exactly the name of it. Forgive me. Y'all know that I don't use a lot of technical words, and I don't do a lot of research as far as what I'm using. I just start using it. Okay, so I want this cream color. This is my inside. I want this cream color on the inside. I'm going to put it down and then even it out so just as much of that material is showing on either side. And get my bone folder and kind of work that glue under there. And then get my rag and get off any excess. And then I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to put some, I'm going to get out all my little things that it might be held out on the edges. Try to get all that out. I'm going to put some glue right at the fold over. I started to say hinge. Right at the fold over. And crease it down some, and then I'm going to do my tearing, and I'm going to distress it before I glue it down. Get some torn edge look here. Get off some of that white. Distress it. This is different than any other little album I have ever made, so I'm hoping that this all turns out cute. But I'm just crafting as I go. I just had a thought in my head and went with it. That can be scary sometimes. All right, and then tear this one and just tear it back and forth, and a little wonky and not even. That's the best way to do it. All right, and ink, 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 and then glue all that down. I really like that up against that blue, that tan up against that blue. That's pretty. So that's going to give the back a little bit of character, which usually I could care less about the back, but I just thought that that would look good, and then it would cover up our edges also. All right, so you've got this wobbly kind of creation here because we're still all a little bit wet. And then this bottom flap I got a little bit crooked, but I will cover that up with maybe a border of some kind or some lace or something. So that's what we've got so far. And remember, we've got a magnet under here, so when we get this little doolally all decorated, we'll adhere that to that top flap, and we're going to have a magnet closure for this. Okay, now let's do a little bit more decorating, and then we need to distress the edges. I like that for that bottom flap there. And I think what I am going to do is round my bottom corners of this piece. Ink those corners. Well, that didn't get rounded very well, did it? There we go. Okay. Do that and get it in the center how I want it, and make that a pocket. So we'll just do a pocket that way. And yes, it's going to be folded up, so we'll need to make the pocket tight, and then whatever goes in there will stay very well. So go ahead, and I'm not a lover of liquid glue on pockets, as you all know, my people know. But on this one, I want it staying really good, and I want some of it to seep this way, just so we have a really tight pocket. So I guess I could have used 1/4 inch score tape. I usually use 1/8 inch score tape on my pockets. Those, let's go ahead and do our distressing, distress inking on all of these. All right, so I've got most of it covered, and I will go over all of that in just a minute. I am covering my magnet circle, and I've put just a little bit of score tape down, and then I'm putting a little bit of liquid glue, and what I did was covered that in some book page. So when this gets flipped over, I need this to be going the opposite direction of this one. Make sure I'm right on that. That flips up, yes. So that's how you need to do it if you're doing directional paper on a magnet closure that's, you know, a piece off of it like this circle. I did a circle, and now I'm going to get some more handy dandy score tape, and I'm going to put it right above that magnet. Is right there. I'm putting it right above that, and then get this backing off. And put another piece on top of that. I just want to make sure that it sticks really well and it's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue on either side of that score tape. And then I'm going to let the magnet do its thing as far as finding the other magnet that's here. And then I'm going to make sure that my numbers and stuff, I mean letters, are straight. And then I'm just going to press down and get that liquid glue to set. And then wipe out any excess. And then I'm really going to press hard and get that on there good. And then when I pop it up, okay, so we've got our magnet closure. So we open it up. Down here where we had our little wonky end right here, I covered it up. I put down some Fabri-Tac and covered it up with just a little bit of ribbon. That's that real skinny ribbon, and I just put 3 little layers of that there to cover up our wonkiness a little bit. And then open it up, and we have our pocket here. And then I just covered that with some paper, and I covered it sideways. I'm good with that. It doesn't matter to me. All right, now we are ready to make our belly bands that our little journals are going to fit in with. So here's our little journals. We're going to flip that up, and we're going to close it. And I might have to put another magnet. Let's see. All right, belly bands. They are just going to go the length of this paper here. And I just need to measure where I need to put them. I'm going to put my belly band, center it up at 2 6 1/4. Okay. So belly band, I think, needs to be about what half would be of this. Half would be, okay, 1 1/4 inches. So 1 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to make it flush with that other paper and ink my edges all around on both pieces, both belly bands. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch score tape and hope that I have enough room to push them in there. Yep, I'm going to use 1/4 inch. I'm just going to go with it. Let's do this. 1/4 inch all the way. Take it to the edge. Take it to the edge. All the way. Okay. Let's test this one and see if we don't need to be pulling something up in a minute. Okay. 1/4 inch is on both sides. My signatures are not too thick, so I think we're going to be good as far as just using this. All right, 2 inches in the middle. That's middle. Okay, let's see how it works in there. Yay. Oh yeah, it's holding it good in there. I love it. Yay. Okay, so 1/4 inch score tape on this one. All right, and then my belly band right in the middle of 6 3/4. Good, good. Now, moment of truth. Let's put both of these in here and see what we got. Oh my goodness. They're too cute. I love that. All right, and then close it up. Close it up. Stick, you stinking magnet. Oh, babe. Oh, well. I don't have strong enough magnet for all the layers that I'm using. That's the problem, because those basic grade magnets are amazing. It's just, I've got too much in between it. So, since this is not a pocket, I might just put another magnet on top of that so it'll stick. Oh, I hate that. Oh well. I'm not crying. We're good. So look at those little signatures. How cute. Hold 2 of them. You can put all kinds of stuff there. Let's go ahead and get some of this other ephemera that's in this digital kit cut out and decorate up just a little bit more. And we can even add these little envelopes to our bottom pocket here. Look how cute that little envelope is. That is darling. And on the inside, to kind of cover up that white, stark white, I just did a little bit of dirtying up like that. And that could go down in your pocket, which that pocket is deep, so it's going to go down in there. But I'm thinking I'm going to dirty up the insides of these little journal covers, and I'm going to put those on my inside covers. That's cute. So I'm going to do that with those 2 standalone envelopes. Like that. I'm going to do that with those. Ooh, that one might be a little bit smaller. That one's too big. That one's bigger than that one too. Let's see. Maybe that one that I chomped off. Yeah, I'll use that one. Okay, and I'll put that one on the inside cover of that one. Let's get some more of this ephemera fussy cut out. And I'll be right back and we'll finish decorating and we'll be done with this, guys. I love it. And then, of course, I'll give you some still shots at the end, too. But let me get some of this other stuff fussy cut out. So, we are ready to do that final flip through. And instead of trying to figure out my magnet issue right now, I just tied some twine around it. I think it looks cute. It's like a little parcel. I like it. Tied up like that, so I might not even fix my magnet issue. Oh well, that's why I love y'all. Y'all love me even through all of my quirkiness and my mistakes and all that stuff, so I appreciate that. So I'm gonna undo this twine here, and I've just got it wrapped around. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just all wrapped around like a little package tied up with string. And then our little magnet that almost could there. And I've already told you about the ribbon there at the bottom that I put down just to cover up some more wonkiness. And then that is little tickets from the digital kit from Betty. Love those. Very cute. I just glued them down. And then we open it up. Let me pull y'all back so you can see all of it. So I've got you pulled all the way back and you can still barely see all of it. That's how large this project is, but folded up it's not, so I might have to turn sideways just a little bit to let you see everything. So there's the completed project, all folded out and to the side. And then our two little signatures. Whoops, I've got that little envelope folded up in there, and then one of our Google tickets that I found that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and then our pages, and I just dirtied that up on the back, and I might add some more to the back eventually too. And then our other signature, it's got another envelope in there, and I need to ink on down in there and glue some more right there. Got another ticket down in there. I'm gonna stick it that way so maybe I can get it out better after a while. And there's that signature, and it's just dirtied up on the back too because I didn't like the stark whiteness of it. So there's our signatures in our belly bands, and then our top flap with the tickets, and then our bottom big pocket. And I've got two of the little pieces of ephemera, the journaling cards, just with a paper clip on the front of it. And then I have one of the larger envelopes in there with more tickets down in it and just ready to journal on. And then one of the tags from the ephemera pack from the digital kit and then journaling cards. I've just got them stuck down in there and ready for journaling. And then put this back on here, back on the pocket. I'm standing up so I can make sure everything I'm showing you is in frame. So there it is. But that is my project. There's the back with that torn on it. And I will give you some still shots at the very end so you can get up close and personal details. And thank you so much, Miss Betty, for letting us have this little freebie. I appreciate it, and we thank you so much. Thanks so much, everybody. Y'all have a blessed day, and if you are watching right at 4th of July, have a great 4th to all of my American friends, and everybody else, y'all have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. See y'all in the next video. Bye, everybody.